Hello and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia, Makina's route. Last time, after training to avoid being damaged by explosions, Makina went off to her bakery job as per regular. Yuuji also went out on a job, namely deciding to bodyguard Makina without her knowledge. Yuuji managed to intercept a stalker would-be investigative detective. And now let's continue. IGS Detective Agency, a major private investigation company profitable enough to plaster ads across giant billboards in front of Tokyo train stations, well known for its founder, the former Sakura Diamond big shot Satoru Iizuka. Lately, the man's been getting a lot of face time as a security expert on news programs and such, earning plenty of free publicity for his agency. It's a well-known, respectable business. But IGS is also well versed in shady political dealings, thanks to their tendency to offer retiring police lucrative advisory jobs. For a private business, you hear a lot of rumors about their involvement with incidents concerning the establishment. In reality, however, they do seem to know where to draw the line. IGS claims to be a completely independent private company with no tolerance for illegal behavior, and it doesn't seem to be just a pretense. The fact that one of their employees was investigating Makina's behavior means that their enemies are still in the exploratory stage for now. Those people aren't going to harm her even if I leave them alone. The question is how long that harmless observation will continue, and what comes after it. I decided to try and analyze the situation from the ground up. There are 4 basic questions here. Why, who, how, and finally, what do I do about it? Why is Makina being targeted? She was removed from her position as the successor of her family because of health problems, but now her recovery has been confirmed. Simple as that. Until now, Makina's good health hadn't been public knowledge. That was protecting her. Otherwise, the girl probably would have been targeted the moment she was discharged from the hospital. Next question, who is targeting Makina? Logically speaking, it's the people who'd be inconvenienced by her return as the future head of the Irisu, in other words, the branch house or its allies. Learning that Makina had recovered, the main family attempted to murder the branch family's figurehead, her half-sister. In retaliation, the Branch family is beginning to maneuver behind the scenes, most likely aiming at removing Makina from the equation. And as for how, that powerful faction inside the Irisu intends to treat Makina from now on. For the moment, they are still gathering information, but once they are satisfied with their investigation, they'll probably move to a more direct action against her. Since she is staying put for the moment, I'm anticipating they'll begin with a harassment campaign to intimidate her. But here, there's a definite chance that might progress into attempts on her life. In the end, what do I do? The answer's not going to change, no matter who I'm up against. That said, there's a possibility of this opponent choosing to come at us with a force of arms, and we don't have the personnel or equipment to resist. In that case, how about seizing the initiative? Better to crush cockroaches before they hatch. Take it one step further and it's most efficient to kill the mother roach before she can even lay her eggs. Of course, if I try anything along those lines, there won't be any turning back. My employer would no doubt hunt me down, but I'd rather die keeping her safe than live as a slave to the national interest. Whoa, Sakaki? What's wrong? Seems I was a little too deeply lost in thought. I didn't even notice Sakagi until she was standing right in front of me. Why don't you tell me? With this remark, Sakaki abruptly reaches out for my face and tightly seizes my cheeks between her thumbs and forefingers. Oh, where are you hurt? What a terrible face. Hardly you could stop pinching me then. I don't know exactly you're brooding about, but you're not going to be popular with girls if you keep making such frightening faces. Say what? Try taking a look in the mirror. Your eyes are clouded, but shining with malice. It's like staring down a wild beast. Men are all his, you know. Seems you got the composure to crack stupid jokes at least. Tell me, did you even realize that Makina-san was trying to talk to you earlier?
Thought she was? When?
Just a few minutes ago. It seems she addressed you several times as you stood here. But you didn't even respond, and because you were scowling like a cornered animal, it seems she quickly grew unable to even try.
I see. Sorry. Got a little lost in thought.
I'm not sure if bloodthirsty is quite the right word, but whatever you're doing here is making the atmosphere throughout the dome unpleasantly tense. I'd very much appreciate it if you tried not to glower like that around our kids.
Our kids?
Ah, I meant our academy students, not my children.
You have children?
No, I do not.
Horster Hogue.
I try my best to smile, but I can't seem to get it right. I suppose the fact that Sakagi's pinching my cheeks with a renewed vigor has something to do with that, but that's not the only problem. The girl's right. I'm on edge, to the point of unconsciously projecting a menacing aura. In fact, it's pretty damn impressive that Qa'Rajh managed to pinch my cheeks under those circumstances. I look at her with just a little admiration in my eyes.
My bad.
Exhaling deeply as if to clear out a mass of bad air gone stagnant in my lungs, I let the tension drain from my shoulders and then unclench my fists. Qa'Rajh, who'd been glaring at me irritably all this time, peers deep into my eyes to confirm I've regained lucidity. Alright. Then briefly nods and releases my smarting cheeks at last. I assume something's happened involving Irisu-san, yes?
Why do you know that?
Well, I'm a little ashamed to admit it. I recently looked a little deeper into her circumstances. And on paper it seems she is still the future head of the Irisu, while her sister is the acting successor and nothing more.
What does that mean?
It means there was no formal resignation. She never officially stopped being the successor.
But the girl's not interested in her inheriting. She made that very plain to her grandfather.
And the Irisu are hardly a monolith. And surely you are aware that this isn't quite that simple. No matter how firmly the girl declares she's stepping aside, they aren't going to shrug and say, okay then, do keep in touch.
Then what can we do?
Well, let's see. Hold a conference in the presence of witnesses, complete the formal resignation procedures, and entrust her position to a new successor. Not that it's going to be that easy.
Why not? Sounds pretty straightforward.
There are too many people who've placed their faith in the main house continued control of the clan. Too many subsidiaries and foreign joint enterprises financed directly by the current leadership. They'll face serious repercussions if the main house representative loses sovereignty of the Irisu, and they're not going to take that sitting down. This is largely speculation on my part, but should control of the Irisu pass to the branch family at the present time, I would estimate the finance, retail, manufacturing and export-import industries would stand to suffer a short-term recession of roughly 7%.
7% across the entire country?
Yes, that's correct. On a global scale, the figure would be something like 1.7%. I imagine it would provide new fuel to the global financial crisis over the last years. Perhaps we could call it Irisu shock?
In other words, Makina saying no would impact the entire world.
Indeed. Sometimes running away just isn't an option. Sometimes the world simply won't permit it.
Makina is still a child, Qa'Rajh.
Irisu-san is the main family's figurehead. Whether she's an adult or not has nothing to do with it.
What feudal bullshit. They just want to use the blood in her veins.
It's certainly unfortunate, but that's the fate she was born with.
Is there nothing we can do about that?
Take the long, slow path of gradually transferring sovereignty. Perhaps in 20 years she'll be able to resign formally. The alternative would be...
There's an alternative?
Run away for another 3 years.
3 years? What happens in 3 years?
Irisu-san yielded her position to her sister 7 years ago on the grounds of poor health. If she is unable to return to her duties as successor within a period of 10 years, she is legally deprived of her inheritance rights.
In other words, if she doesn't return to her old position within the next 3 years.
That's right. Irisu-san's rights and privileges will be revoked. She will become a normal girl.
3 years, huh?
For me alone, disappearing for 3 years wouldn't be impossible. But if I'm taking Makina along as well, the situations almost certainly wouldn't be so simple. The main house would be using all their power to search for her. And the Branch family too would no doubt try to take the opportunity to secure their position by assassinating Makina while she's on the run and vulnerable. At the very least, while Iri-Susan is in the school, her safety has been guaranteed, but I don't know how much that promise will really mean in the end.
I don't understand. What connection is there between Irisu and this school?
It's nothing you could really call a connection, but people connected to the Branch family were responsible for Iri-Susan's admission to the school.
Members of the Branch family put her here. Why?
Think about it. If they could isolate her in this school for 3 more years, she would be devastated. She would be divested of her inheritance rights, yes? And so, without even informing the main family of her release from the hospital, they quietly shuffled her off into a pleasant little cage. That's why she's here. As a matter of fact, the main family only discovered her presence here very recently. Supposedly, the Branch family even arranged for a body double in the hospital she'd been staying in earlier. It was a fairly well-laid plan.
My head's starting to hurt. So in other words, as long as she stays in this school under the Branch family's control, Makina's safe. Is that what you're telling me?
It's what I would have told you. Up until her sister was nearly killed by a car bomb, at least.
But the status quo has already been broken.
Exactly. All bets are off.
No choice but to crush the eggs after all.
There you go again with that frightening face. Shall I give your cheeks another pinch?
Look, Sakaki,
Keep calm. This isn't a problem you can solve on your own. You do understand that, yes?
Yeah, I understand. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying.
So stubborn.
She's the one thing in the world I decided to protect of my own will, not because someone ordered me to. I can't very well back down, can I?
If I said I envied Iri-Susan just a little, I imagine it would come off as rather insensitive, wouldn't it?
Better not say that in front of her, at least.
In any case, this isn't a problem you can resolve in a day or two. For the moment, fortunately, the Head and Branch families seem to have their hands full throwing accusations back and forth over the negotiation table. My information is admittedly limited, but I'll inform you of any changes I'm able to detect. How about watching and waiting for the time being?
I suppose so.
Just as Sakaki said, there are no immediate changes in Makina's everyday life. She's able to follow her usual routine without incident. On the days when she works at the bakery, I quietly follow her on the way over, and in the evenings I wait outside to walk her home. It's starting to become a normal part of my life. When I slip out of the school's front gate a little after Makina, I never fail to spot a certain silver station wagon following her. Presumably more observers from that IGS detective agency. The first time I casually glanced in through the side window, I noticed that the man holding the steering wheel wasn't that Naoki Ihara guy who screwed up last time. Idiots clumsy enough to get their wallet stolen while following a target presumably get reassigned to pushing paper around. I felt a small twinge of conscience. Passed quickly, though. I don't know who the new guy in charge is, but since he was given the job after the Duns failed, he's most likely a pretty competent investigator. On top of which, we've now got 2 men assigned to the case. From what Sakaki tells me, the people employing IGS are indeed connected to the Branch family. In short, they're probably trying to determine whether Makina is obediently keeping her head down, looking for any evidence of her coming into contact with the main family. The silver station wagon follows a good distance behind Makina until reaching a shopping district, at which point the man sitting in the passenger seat gets out, while the driver takes the vehicle around to park in an hourly lot on the other side of the station, then leans the seat back and lies down. It's what they call a package drop at my workplace. Since they've got 2 men on the job now, the observer and his driver seem to have a clear division of labor. Makes it easier to deal with sudden or unforeseen developments. Might seem slightly excessive just to keep an eye on Makina, but the bulk of their work actually seems to be investigating the people who enter the bakery where she works. The owner and his wife would already have been thoroughly checked, so instead they're photographing every single customer who stops by with a digital camera. They keep it up continuously from 9 in the morning till later than 5 in the evening. When Makina goes out to deliver bread, the man in the car heads over to her destination, while his partner continues watching for customers in her absence. It must be ridiculously dull work, but they're consistent and conspicuous. Clearly a private detective's life isn't all thrills. But despite this obsessive investigation, they haven't found any suspicious individuals coming into contact with Makina. If there's a reason besides stubbornness that the Branch family hasn't called off the surveillance at this point, Sakaki speculates it might have something to do with me. Looking into the people around Makina would naturally mean they pursued the thorough round of inquiries into the identities of those related to a school as well. The principal would be first on the list, but it no doubt included the visiting lecturers and the contractors who maintain the facilities. Sakaki, Amani, Michiru and Sachi can't have been an exception. And among all these, there's one and only one individual whose investigation would turn up absolutely nothing. Myself, Kasami Yuuji. Of course I do have a profile. Anyone with a bit of knowledge about these things would find it suspicious at a single glance, but there aren't any conclusive flaws or contradictions. My papers are clean and beautiful as driven snow. There must be someone over there who didn't like that overly tidy, blatantly prepared personal history. That would seem the most likely explanation for the way they are dragging out this fruitless surveillance of Makina's surroundings. They are probably aware that this investigation isn't getting anywhere, but they're not prepared to back down until they get a read on me. I'm sure IGS isn't too broken up about the state of affairs, since they are no doubt getting paid well for their dull but easy work. On the other hand, the Branch family must be getting pretty aggravated by the deadlock. If we can't finish the investigation, why not just remove the need to investigate? I don't know who made that call, but today the routine is finally broken. In the early evening, I'm making my way over to the bakery to pick up Makina when I notice a black sedan surging up the road ahead. The class is roaring of its exhaust system, drawing louder and louder as it approaches. That's not the only reason the car stands out. All the side windows are covered with dark black film, and it's so low to the ground it's probably a cut spring. Zigzagging across the road to avoid a manhole cover, the car screeches to a halt in front of Makina's brewery. And before I can do anything but start in surprise, the window on the passenger side abruptly slides down. You've got to be shitting me. As I take the first hurried step forward, my scalp burning with a sudden urge of panic. The muzzle of an automatic appears from the inside the car. God damn it! I've been too happy-go-lucky. It's not so complicated from their perspective, is it? Eliminating Makina solves the problem in a single step. And of all the clinched simplistic ways to do it, I hadn't even considered the damn possibility. For a moment that seems to last a year, all I can do is curse my negligence. As the attackers speed past, I turn to memorize the number and make of their car. There's a sticker on the rear window with the words Team Blood Cherry under a crude sketch of a skull holding a cherry bomb in its teeth. A biker gang? It's also possible that they're pros in a stolen vehicle pretending to be gangsters as a cover, but that's not what matters right now. Papa!
Makina, you alright? Any injuries?
What just happened? I heard something noisy outside, then all of a sudden it like bang bang bang. The window in the shop just shattered.
Calm down. It was just some idiots from a biker gang screwing around. More importantly, you weren't injured?
Yeah, I was in the kitchen in the back, so I'm fine. But what's going on? A gang?
In any case, let's get back inside for the moment.
A drive-by shooting is a lot like a bombing. By which I mean, the safest place you can be is one that's been hit already. There aren't many idiots who'll plug another bullet right where they fired the first one. When I enter the bakery with Makina, the owner is cradling a telephone against his shoulder, desperately explaining that shots were fired through his window. From the tone of his voice, it's clear he's talking to the police. The nearest neighborhood station is right outside Mishima Cave Station, not even 200 meters away as the crow flies. They should be here in minutes. Please don't let it be that guy again. At times like these, my bad premonitions are depressingly accurate. Last thing I want to deal with right now is my good friend Officer Sourface and his usual barrage of sarcasm and suspicion. Time to get moving. Under the circumstances, I was expecting a little resistance if Makina tried to leave as usual. But when the girl asked, "Can I go home now?" her employer just nods and says, "Good night." Now that the terror has faded, the man seems to have worked up a good bit of outrage over the damage to his shop. He's too busy shouting at the policeman on the other end of the line to worry about anything else.
Alright, let's go home.
Yeah. Despite her dopey personality, Makina's got sharp instincts. She has surely figured out by now that the bullets fired into the shop weren't a random prank. A gloomy expression settled on her face. I fall into step next to the girl, then wrap my arm around her shoulders and pull her close in a casually protective gesture. 4 bullets were fired in direction of the shop. The first hit the signboard, the second and third penetrated the glass front show windows, ultimately lodging in the rear walls of the bakery. The fourth hit a plastic bucket in the alleyway outside. Most likely they weren't fired at any particular target. The point of shooting was to intimidate and threaten the people inside. In other words, it was simple harassment. A warning to the effect of, we could kill you anytime if we needed you dead. Of course, the intent of the attackers doesn't change the fact that potentially deadly bullets were fired at her stores. It's no consolation in the slightest. Should this simple but effective threat convince Makina to quit her job at the bakery, it'd minimize her contact with the outside world and reduce the time wasted on fruitless investigations. For the Branch family, it was probably a minor risk well worth taking.
Are you alright?
Makina has been trudging along silently at my side for some time, looking down at the pavement below. She hasn't said a word since we left the bakery. This sucks. I always end up causing trouble for the people around me.
As if there were a single person in the world who isn't causing trouble for someone.
But I think I'm about the only kid who gets in trouble like bullet through your windows. There was a driver in that car with her sister. Not that I'm going to remind her. Maybe I should just go home after all. That way I wouldn't make trouble for anybody, right?
Maybe so. But you don't want to go back, do you?
Yeah.
Then you don't have to.
But...
Not to worry. I'll make sure this sort of thing doesn't happen again.
How are you gonna do that? What you planning, Papa? Stop it. Don't do anything dangerous. Please don't.
It's nothing particularly dangerous. I'm just going to get the police to give this their full attention.
The police?
It's an organization that exists to keep law-abiding citizens safe and secure. Only normal to rely on them at times like these, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. Leave it to me.
Yeah. To be honest, my employer has a tendency not to view relying on the police favorably. I don't personally enjoy begging them for favors myself. But the organization exists and is powerful enough once it gets moving. Not making use of them would be foolish. Once we made our way back to the dorm, I entrust the clearly depressed Makina to Minasachi. I also considered the option of leaving this to Amane, but I decided our class representative would be the better choice this time. My reasoning concerned what you might call Sachi's peculiar virtues. Specifically a certain quickness on the uptake, characteristic of an experienced maid, and the modesty to refrain from asking too many questions. When I abruptly show up and ask her to look after Makina, the girl doesn't request even the briefest of explanations. Yes, please leave the rest to me. Instead, she nods her assent without even a moment's hesitation. Things wouldn't have gone nearly this smoothly with Amane. When it comes to Makina, the woman's something of a worrywart. She wouldn't be able to help barraging us with questions. Although I'm sure Amane eventually understands the matters best left alone, it'd bother her so much she'd end up getting gloomy too. That might leave Makina feeling even worse than before. I'll have to explain what happened to Amane and the others in due time, but for the moment leaving it to Sachi is probably the optimal choice. Maki-chan, do you want to come to my room? Shall I make you some chocolate milk? Yeah, thanks, Sachin. Sachi turns around with a flutter of her long skirt, gently rests a supportive hand on Makina's back and heads for her room. For just an instant, the class representative looks back over her shoulder, her face expressionless as ever, and fixes her eyes clear on mine. I'd like to hear the circumstances later. She doesn't make a sound, but I hear the words clearly enough. I nod briefly, then make my way up the stairs and head toward a certain room.
Sakagi, it's me.
And who's that?
Me, your grandson. I'm in trouble. Please transfer 1 million yen to the following bank account.
Please take the scam somewhere else. I'm busy.
Sorry to interrupt, but please open the door. This is urgent.
There's a brief moment of what seems like hesitation on her part, but soon the lock clacks open. Well, what's this urgent business of yours then?
I'm bleeding from my crotch and it just won't stop. Got any extra sanitary napkins? Hey, I was just kidding. Come back.
Next time you make a stupid joke like that, I'll make it a reality.
Sorry, this is serious, alright? Please hear me out.
Go ahead then. What is it?
Let me borrow your computer.
What?
There's something I need to look into. I'd like to be alone in the room if that's possible.
What are you planning to investigate?
Kind of a long story.
You expect me to agree without any explanation whatsoever?
Point taken. Okay, I'll give you the executive summary. Someone took a few pot shots at the bakery where Makina works.
What?
Fortunately, no one was injured, but it's most likely harassment from the Branch family to make her quit her job.
Ah, so they finally begun to take action.
That's a theory, but I can't say for sure who was responsible yet. That's what I want to borrow your PC to investigate.
Alright then, but do me a favor, don't access any strange websites.
Appreciate it. I'll let you know when I'm done, so go kill some time reading the porn magazines under my bed or something.
That was a joke, yes?
Why don't you take a look and see?
Very well then, just so you know, if there really are any, I'm going to burn them.
Feel free.
I gave Sakagi a little wave as she stalks out of the room. Wonder what sort of expression she'd make if I changed her PC wallpaper to a picture of my groin. Unfortunately, there's no time for such absurd pranks at the moment. I switch on the notebook computer sitting on her desk, then hunt around in my breast pocket for JB's business card as the machine boots up. Underneath a simple but professional logo consisting of the letters A and C overlapping, the words Qa'Rajh Clean LLC, Second Public Relations Division, and Harudera Yuria, Section Chief, are printed in embossed type. In the smaller font below, there's an email address and a URL for the company's webpage. Once the computer loads its desktop, I immediately open the web browser and then type the address. And just as you usually expect, a typical corporate front page for Asahi Clean Company appears. Normally I'd only be using this through the company's secure and internal telecommunications network, but even using a normal public connection, it's possible to get access to a database through an emergency ID and log in. However, the company is not quite so happy-go-lucky as to hand out such lovely authorization to a mere part-timer like myself. I click on a small user ID field in the upper right page and enter Julia 000393, then move my cursor to the password field. At this point, I pause to stroke my chin thoughtfully.
Well then.
Closing my eyes, I recall JP's body in all its vulgar glory. I've been out of touch for quite some time, but I don't think these numbers will have changed that easily.
172, 96, 56, 90, 55. Okay.
I type in the figures as I recall them, then click the login button. I'm immediately bounced back with a brusque, incorrect user ID or password error.
Oh, shit, no good. Did you put on some weight?
Mistyping the password 3 times will trigger an automatic warning to the company. I've only got 2 more shots at this.
172, 96, 58, 92, 57. How's that?
The moment I click the login button for the second time, the hard disk begins grinding away intensely as a new page automatically opens virus detection software to scan the computer.
Bingo! You better watch that ice cream habit.
After a minute or so, the browser window changes to a dry, functional terminal screen, empty except for a number of labeled tabs at the top. I select Vehicle Lookup, and then a new frame pops up immediately. I quickly enter the car's manufacturer, model, color, and license plate number into the appropriate fields, then run the search. The result? No corresponding vehicle found. I'd been more or less expecting something of the sort would happen, so it's not particularly discouraging. This time, I try a search using only the license plate number, but again the database gives me nothing. Seems they weren't using a license plate borrowed from another vehicle, but instead a counterfeit with a random mishmash of a number. In which case, the only remaining hint would be that sticker in the rear window, I suppose. Wonder if searching under Other might turn up something. Just as I'm pondering, my cell phone begins to ring shrilly inside my pocket of my uniform. The caller should probably go without saying at this point.
Hey there, JB.
Alright, Yuuji. You're accessing our van from the outside, aren't you?
There was a little something I wanted to look into.
How many times do I have to tell you not to use my ID?
Let's not get too caught up on the little things, okay? Not to worry, I won't let anyone know you gained weight lately. Our little secret.
That's not what I'm worried about here.
Oh, you sure about that?
Wait, that doesn't mean it's okay for you to start telling people I've gained weight, you know. I mean, I didn't gain any weight in the first place. They make you switch passwords every once in a while. Had to change it up somehow, so I just increased the numbers a little.
Who are you making excuses to here?
Well, what are you trying to investigate?
A motorcycle club named Blood Cherry, skull with a bomb in its mouth as a logo. Probably affiliated with local organized crime.
You know, there's hardly any reason to go out of your way to log in illegally for something that simple. Wouldn't it have been easier just to ask me?
Well, probably so, but it's not directly connected to my work for the company, so I was trying to show a little restraint.
Restraint?
What's with the tone of exhausted disbelief? You won't find many men more tactful than me.
Yes, Blood Cherry, as in cherry bomb, right? Alright, I'll look it up for you.
Appreciate it.
When do you need this information?
Sooner the better. Right now, if possible.
Right now?
Yes, that's what I said.
Look, you.
Look, JB, I tried to do it myself because I didn't want to make you sigh like that.
Unbelievable. Alright then, I'll do it now. Will immediately do, or do you need it sooner?
Can you handle that?
I'm sorry, what do you think the Central Intelligence Division does for a living? Of course I can do it.
Sorry about this. You have my undying gratitude.
So you're always saying, although you sure don't act like it.
I'm always grateful to you, JB. After all, now that Asako's gone, you're the only family I have left.
I'll email you the results in 12 minutes.
Thanks, Julia.
It's not a lie, I really am grateful to her. When Asako died and I nearly lost sight of the reason I was alive, somehow or other, Julia gave me the courage I needed to get back on my feet. Precisely 12 minutes later, an email arrives in my inbox from a certain punctual German.
Come on, stand up, you little shit!
Hey, give me a break! Seriously, I did the job just fine, right?
Oh, still got the energy to run your fucking mouth, huh? Yeah, guess that means a little more won't kill you, right? You stupid fuck! Sorry, no more for real. Got a guy a break. Christ, what do we do, Ato-san? Huh? He's kinda begging for forgiveness or whatever. What's the verdict? Can I just kill the little shit? Hey, now, slow down, that's no good. Killing people ain't right, you know. Didn't your teachers ever teach you that at school? Not to brag, but I wasn't real big on the whole going to school thing. It wasn't news to me. Yeah, well, whatever. Bring the kid over here for a second. Yes, sir. Come on, you. Stop flopping around. Get the fuck up here, you already shithead. That hurts. I can get up by myself. You don't have to yank me around like that. Okay. Who are you again? Your name? Let's see. Takashi-kun? It's Tadashi. Ishikawa Tadashi. Is that right? Yeah, Tadashi-kun. Look, kid, you know, you're kind of fucked up, right? When I give you a job, you gotta do it the way I tell you to do it. Come on, I shut off that bakery just like you told me to, right? What's the big deal? Okay, look, were you even listening to me, kid? I said you used to use a pinched car, right? Hey, Okuda, I did say that, right? Yup, that you did say. Right. Fuck, you got me all nervous. I'd forgotten to mention it. You little shit, stop fucking around. Yes, sir. Look, kid, I told you to do it in a pinch car, yeah? So why the fuck you doing it charging in there with your own fucking ride? Like what? Look at me, everybody. My car's so cool. Trying to show off or something, huh? Course not, boss. It's just pinching the car such a pain. And I got fake plates and all, so I guess I sort of figured nobody really figure out. We can't have that. Look, kid, that's just not gonna... Look, it's not like I'm gonna piss and moan if you land yourself in the joint, right? But if you're napping, your dumb ass gets them, deducted. Or whatever. Deducing, ain't it? Yeah, right, that's it. So what I'm trying to get at here is, what if they end up deducing their way back to us, huh? That's no fucking dope, don't you think? Huh? My bad, man. Give me a break here. You're fucking hopeless. Christ, why does every biker kid have to be a complete brain dead? Can't take care of the simplest goddamn errand in the world without shitting your own pants. You're a useless kid, complete waste of oxygen. Fuck. You ain't even worth my time to kill, right? This getting through to your sick skull yet, huh? I'm sorry, man, for real. I won't screw up next time. Idiot, there ain't gonna be a goddamn next time. You think I'm gonna share a cup with a usual little shit like you, huh? What? But that's not what you promised. And you're the one who didn't do what I fucking told you to, right? Getting way ahead of yourself, kid. Come on, you said the same thing last time and you still haven't given me a cup. Of course not, idiot. If you want the cup, then you take the job seriously and you make yourself fucking useful. I can throw a pork chop to a goddamn dog and he'll do it better work than you do, kid. Got it? Yes, sir. Don't just yes, sir me, asshole. Are you even taking this shit seriously? It'll be fine next time, for real. I'm gonna get my act together, I swear. The fuck? Christ. Next time you fuck up, you're fucking dead. Think you can remember that shit stain, Yes, sir. Nah, screw that. I just remembered. Kid, that wasn't the only fuck up with you, was it, Will? What do you mean? Was there something else? Yeah, there was. Last night you showed off that piece I gave you to some girl in a bar, didn't you? What the fuck was that, kid? It was just... Well, I told you, right? I told you to keep your goddamn trap wired shut. And then what'd you do? The moment I give you the piece, you brag about it to some slut in the bar. What the fuck? Are you fucking retarded or something? No, screw this. You're seriously worth it. Hey, Okuda, you can go ahead and kill the little shit. What? Come on, man. The fuck you doing, Okuda? Hurry up and kill this idiot, Okuda! Okuda, the fuck are you taking a nap for? Get the fuck up. Huh? Hey, Tadashi? What the? Bastard, what the fuck? Who are you? I know you're there. Quit hiding and get out.
Shukai Deputy Underboss, Susumiyato-san, right?
Huh? The hell are you supposed to be? Where are you? Get the fuck out here.
What are you looking at? I'm right behind you.
What the?
As Artu spins around violently, the back of my hand meets the tip of his jaw. Amplified by his own momentum, the blow jerks his head a good 90 degrees to the side. Quivering from the impact, Artu's eyes rolls back in his head. He's unconscious before his knees hit the ground. Normally this would be the point where you start kicking kidneys or crushing windpipes just to be on the safe side. But instead I roll the three unconscious men over, tie their hands between their backs and with high-strength nylon rope, then do the same with their ankles. As the finishing touch, I tie their bound ankles and wrists together, leaving them curled helplessly backward like three particularly puffy and unattractive seals.
Honestly, first a detective agency, now organized crimes. Our friends of the Brand family are just full of lovely surprises.
The hell, you little shit! What the fuck is this? Who are you with?
Sorry about the surprise attack. Couldn't go picking a fair fight with the Yakuza, you know. I'd get kicked out of the house if I lost.
Bastard, you got a lot of fucking nerve pulling a stunt like this. You think we're gonna let you off easy?
Well, I suppose you wouldn't know. You people do take your pride pretty seriously.
Even as I speak, I'm busily rolling up Artu's tacky lavender suit jacket. As I expected, he's got a pulled-through snap leather holster strapped on his left side with a shining silver automatic visible inside.
What's this, a Taurus? Damn, even the deputy underbosses are packing some pretty nice toys these days.
I grab the weapon by the grip and give it a solid yank. The snap flies open with a metallic click, and the gun slides free smoothly and easily. The 9mm Brazilian pistol has been polished to a blinding sheen for some ridiculous reason. Combined with the pearl-white grip he seems to have swapped in for aesthetic reasons, the thing almost looked like a toy at first glance.
Look, Artu-san, the jacket was bad enough, but this is a bit much, don't you think? Silver polish and pearl grip? That's best. There's bad taste, and then there's just posturing.
I'd always thought villains only packed a flashy custom Taurus in the movies, but seems my belief system needs revisiting.
You little shit, the fuck you think you're doing? Stop fucking around!
I'm not fucking around, my friend. Sorry, but you're going to be moving to a nice villa for a while.
What?
I hit the mag catch cut button with my thumb and remove the magazine, then pull back on the slide and peer into the chamber. It's empty. The hell's the point of having a fast draw holster if you need to take the time to take a chamber out or The hell's the point of having a fast draw holster if you need to take the time to chamber around before you can shoot?
All show, huh? Well, whatever.
Pushing the disassembly button with my forefinger, I rotate the lever downward, then advance and remove the slide assembly. After compressing the recoil spring and guide, I carefully pull the barrel free.
What the fuck you think you're doing, asshole?
If you can't tell by looking, there's no reason to waste my breath trying to explain.
Once I've methodically arranged the disassembled components of the gun on the ground, I grab one of Arthur's hands and begin applying his fingerprints to them.
Hey, the hell? What you trying to pull?
You still don't get it? I'm getting your prints all over this gun.
Most thugs clean their fingerprints off their pistols these days, but there's plenty of morons who forget to wipe the insides of the weapon as well. I'm having a friend Arthur here become such an idiot. Naturally, I'm wearing thin rubber surgical gloves for every step of this procedure, so as to keep my own finger oils to myself.
Stop it, bastard! The fuck are you thinking?
You really want to know? Don't think I feel like telling, though. I'm a bit of a tease that way.
I extract the 9mm bullets in the magazine one by one and carefully press them against the tips of Arthur's fingers. When I'm finished applying his prints to the internals of the weapons, I snap the gaudy Taurus back together the way it was, then wrap it carefully in a towel.
Okay then, I'll be on my way now.
Hey, wait, what the fuck? You planning on just leaving us like this?
True, that might be a little much. Alright then, what was the name of that useless biker kid over there again? Ishikawa Tadashi-kun? I'll untie his rope, so just have him help you out once he wakes up.
I cut the nylon ropes binding Ishikawa Tadashi with a pair of scissors I bought at the 100 yen shop before coming here, then tossed them carelessly away.
Hey, Tadashi, wake up, you fucking idiot!
With the sound of Atu bellowing desperately at his comatose underling echoing pleasantly in my ears, I take my leave. And that's where we'll end this episode. So next time, we shall see how the aftermath of this is going. But until then, take care.